Welcome back, everybody. Once again, you're listening to the Entrepreneurial Web. I'm your host, Jeremiah Fox, here with a close friend, mentor, former boss, great dude, all around, Tony Disilvestro of Y-Not Itialian, based in Virginia Beach, Virginia. Besides opening probably a dozen restaurants over the last 20-something years, he is also a commercial contractor. You own a photography studio. You've been in real estate. What else? What have you not done?
I don't know. There's a ton I've done, and just being diversified. I've a big commercial construction company and residential, and there's not much I haven't done. Ice cream parlors, deli, wholesale bakery, distributing the whole state of Virginia.
Oh God, the bakery, Sal.
Yeah.
The fucking memories.
The craziest part about being an entrepreneur is you believe, and
yeah.
I've learned so many lessons from owning so many businesses, whether it be investing in real estate, rental properties, and doing a bunch of different things. And it's just given me a wealth of information that, that I'm so driven to share. And to be on something like this today with you is so cool for me, and just being part of this.
And you mentioned in the last segment the idea of bringing attention to all this, and you've done some work with that as well, been very active on social media lately, but also you started your own Instagram Live and your own mentorship program called The Y, the letter Y, in Entrepreneur. What does the Y mean to you? First of all, for those of you that don't know, his company, Y-Not Itialian, is spelled Y-N-O-T, which is Tony backwards, which is very clever and is great branding on a number of different levels. It's taken me 25 years to really peel that one apart. And I still go, oh shit, there's that. I'm like, wow, that's great. And you've taken it a step farther. And the contracting company, is it Why Not Build?
It is Why Not Build.
Yeah. And now the Y in entrepreneurship, which I just saw it recently, and I was like, fuck yes, that's it. What does the Y mean to you?
It's kind of funny. Some people say, and I've seen some stuff on the net, like you only have one why. In my company,
yeah, bullshit.
There's always the why and why not. So what is the why? Yeah. The why in everything. The why for me is how do you sweep a floor? There's a why in that. How do you walk up to a table and talk to a guest? How do you build a house? How do you frame a house? And where's your why? But the why in entrepreneurship there's multiple whys. I mean, Jeremiah, you have a million whys on what you do and why you do it. And I know you coach it every single day.
Yep.
But the thing is, with millennials, the biggest thing and where this really came from is when I started hiring millennials, every single person that I talked to was, oh my God, I hate millennials. They suck. They don't want to work. They don't want to do anything. I said, you're wrong. I said, all they want to know is why. I said, when they're put on a team and everyone gets a trophy, they want to be part of a team. So the best part for me and how it all started was I started training millennials, and I said, it's the easiest thing in the world to train. I said, you tell one, they tell everybody else. I said, it's been the coolest thing in the world. So for me, I'm a huge promoter of hiring millennials. But when it came down to the why in entrepreneurship, I've been mentoring businesses for 20 years. I've mentored a bunch of Navy SEALs, the Honor Foundation, restaurants, gyms, businesses. I've mentored so many people, and it started to be like when I teach at Old Dominion University, I'll teach entrepreneurship there. And what happens is they're like, God, you need to tell more people this. So then when I started to see the Instagram, and then I had a bunch of people, the mayor saying, hey, can you go on Instagram and share with people on how to open their businesses back up? I'm like, hell, shit. It was only been 2 weeks now that I started the Y in Entrepreneurship, but it's crazy the impact. It's been so cool. I had this guy in Jersey, actually. He had this gym company. He trains young kids in schools. He teaches them yoga, mental health for physical fitness. And I called him this week. I'm like, hey, dude, how you doing? And he goes, holy shit, man. Him and his wife are on the phone with me. They're like going out of business. He's like, I only have 2 months of income left. So dude, I got on the phone. I'm like, hey, what do you do on Instagram and Facebook? And why aren't you teaching this over online? He goes, I don't even know how to do that shit. I just got a message while we were on the phone. He goes, Tony, I'm going to kill this shit. And he's sending me pictures of a studio in his house. And he's like, he's on Instagram, Facebook. He's setting up an e-commerce site on his website. But I went from him 3 days ago to I'm jumping in a hole, just shut the lid, to now he's like, I'm going to crush this shit. And I said to him, what you're doing now is you're now truly being an entrepreneur. He's looking for his why, but he lost his why. And that's what he lost the whole thought process because he was brick and mortars for so many years.
Yeah.
He totally was confused by that.
It's funny how those two generations kind of intersect where like, I feel the same about millennials. And again, I didn't even realize like that generational thing had happened. I was just a guy doing my thing. And all of a sudden I became like the old guy in the room and they're all looking at me and I'm like, wait, what, who, me? I don't have fucking answers, you know, but it turned out I did. And then I realized the people were like, oh yeah, millennials. And I was like, oh, they're millennials. Oh, that's, and everybody's same thing, bitch, bitch, bitch. I'm like, no, they're fucking great. Like I have no problem with them. And like, I feel like if as long as you treat people human, you get a response, you know, but you're right. They are like super, super savvy with all the like attention spreading and the digital media and everything. We didn't know, you know, we didn't know shit about that. And we were just like, I was so brick and mortar. Even like a year ago, I was like, I don't need that shit, man. I'm brick and mortar. I'm in the street. All my businesses are on like 5 blocks. Like I see everybody. No, you still need it. And I was like, no. And then I was like, okay, I do. And they really helped with that. And then we help with the other side of it, which is the very personal. Right. We bring the real world component into it and offer that why. Are you familiar with Simon Sinek? Have you ever listened to him?
Yes, I was at the IFA and he was.
Oh, that's right. You told me.
Hey, these freaking Zoom things, they make me crazy.
Yeah. Get comfortable being uncomfortable.
Oh, yeah, so good. You know me.
Yeah. I don't sweat it. I kind of like them now. It's a little breather. I'm like,
yeah, I know Simon Sinek though. I mean, very inspirational speaker.
Yeah. So
he's not Gary Vee, but he's an inspiration.
No, but he said some really great stuff. And the thing that reintroduced Gary Vaynerchuk to me after not paying attention to anything on social media for 10 years was a Simon Sinek video someone sent me called, it was a TED Talk, but he kept saying, know your why. But it was like WHY. Right. And he said something really that stuck out with me. And it was actually the message for last week when I had Gary Vaynerchuk's sister, who was a New Jersey real estate agent on. And it was people buy what you do, not what you make, or something to that effect, where it's not about the product. And you've reiterated that a number of times through the show. Right. It's really about your brand, but an easier way to explain that is like who you are, what's behind the thing that you make. Like you and I don't make food for people. Right. It's a whole different thing. We
create experiences is what
and our story and our family. We're bringing the whole, like, it's not about opening, I don't know, maybe it is one day, but it's really about like, it's the same when the girls were little. I remember Brianna being back in a car seat sitting on the back table, and people coming in. It was like they were part of us. We were part of them.
See, the why for me, Jeremiah, the why is really a training mechanism that I use to explain why, not only why would I do, but it's also explaining to your staff why they're doing what they're doing. Because
they need that.
Without our staff, Jeremiah, we're nothing. I'm nothing. Right. I don't care how brilliant I am or how great of an entrepreneur I am. If I don't know how to manage people and teach entrepreneurship, then I'm nothing, because I depend on my people every single day and they're my top priority. Like my servers, I don't ever talk to my server. I don't have servers in my restaurants. You can ask my servers all the time. They're like, are you a server? They're like, no, I'm not a server. I'm an experience creator. Yeah. But to get that message across, they have to understand the why. And when I'm teaching and mentoring the why, I'm digging into every why. Let me ask you about your accounting. Talk about your location expenses. Let me talk about the customer walking through the front door. What is the why in that customer grabbing that front door? So when it came down to even the pandemic, I'm focused that way. That's all I think about. What is the why? What is the customer perception? What is every detail? So when there's one why, I don't think there's any way an entrepreneur could have one why. And I don't think they're looking too deep enough into their business. So the why for me is everything.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's great that you just pointed out, like the pandemic's been a great opportunity to teach that, because it made people really think. It stripped all the bullshit down, all the niceties, all the fancy stuff. Now, what are you? Why are you doing this? Like, if you can't answer that right now, bye. You're going to disappear.
And a problem's an opportunity, right? So you get hit with something in your face, you get punched in your face, you go, why did I get punched in my face? How am I getting back up? What is the why? Why did this happen? So it doesn't happen again.
And how do you keep your feet under you?
But that's truly entrepreneurship though, right? So when we get knocked down, you've got to ask the question why. It's probably one of the most difficult questions to ask as an entrepreneur is why. Instead, people run the other way. And you know what? They're truly not entrepreneurs if you're running the other way. Because as an entrepreneur, the number one trait when I teach entrepreneurship is you better be able to fail. Because failure is number one. And
Absolutely.
so there's two things really that I look at. It's failure, and then you need to be a risk taker. Because if you're not a risk taker, it's very difficult to be an entrepreneur. But as a risk taker, you're going to fail. That's going to happen.
100%. That's it, everybody. You can take that to the bank. All right, we're going to have to wrap it up, man. Thank you so much. It's such an honor, pleasure. We're going to do this in the future, sitting in the same room for sure. We can't be this far away.
We're so damn busy.
I miss you, baby. So check him out. You can find him on Facebook, The Y in Entrepreneurship. You can find him on Instagram. Check out his Instagram lives that he's doing with other local business owners and helping them figure out their why. We got to work on your Twitter. You're on LinkedIn too, Anthony Disilvestro. Check him out, everybody. Have a great weekend. Stay safe. Be well. I'll check you next week. You're listening to the Entrepreneurial Web.